my son and I, who's a bit older than yours, we were talking about this literally last night. He's in banking, and he does a lot of like looking at credit agreements. And when he first started only 5 years ago, the credit agreement was a doc, right? And you'd go through it, and you'd pore over it, and you'd really deeply understand the contents of the credit agreement. And you'd have a small number of these to work on, right? But now the expectation, forgetting the technology for just a second, the expectation is you could do more than just one, right? And you do three or four at a time. Partly because his brain has evolved over the years with experience and learning how to do them and be more efficient and all of that. But the expectation has increased as well. So he's getting more efficient and more effective at it. So when I said, well, you can very easily throw that into a notebook LM and have, and get the summary, get the synthesis of that. And he said, I really don't like that idea, right? I'm really opposed to that because you're not getting that skill of learning the basics, right? And so I said, okay, now I'm going to go back into your past. I want to say, I don't know when do you learn long division? 5th grade, 3rd grade? I don't know when they're like, I don't know. But like, you hated it because you had to carry this and to carry that. Why do I need to do that when I have a calculator? And I would always say to him and to my daughter as well,
Yes.
because you need to learn how to do the thing. So do you think people who jump right to AI without learning the blocking and tackling or the basics, the long division, do you see that as a potential risk for really becoming great at your job?
Not at all, actually. In fact, there may be some jobs that will require that level of depth and analysis and knowledge to have acquired in that right sequence. I'm not saying that there won't be jobs that way, but for most jobs, it's not about how much you know, but it's knowing how to acquire knowledge becomes more important than the knowledge itself.
That I fundamentally agree with that statement.
Yes.
I do, right? Are you a lifelong learner? Are you continually trying to learn?
Just think of life before Google, right? How did you have to acquire stuff? You would go into a library, pick a book that's written by somebody that's revisioned over 3 decades, and then you will look up something and say, okay, let me come back and try and apply it, or let me write the program for it. How would this work, that work, right? Just because you had Google come up, would you say I won't go to a library? You didn't say I have to go to a library. That is the way you study. It changed the way you searched for information.
That's true. That's very true.
It changed the way you actually searched, got, and learned. And AI is doing something very similar. It's basically changing the way of how you're acquiring that knowledge, right? And how do you determine, is this right versus is this better?
Sure.
Right?
I see.
And so now, like I said, it may not be applicable to all jobs, but a vast majority of jobs will benefit from this.
Yes.
And that is what is going to change.
I see. So it's not so much replacing long division with a calculator. Sure, right? It's faster, it's more effective, but you're using the calculator better. You're using it in a way that's changing how you're solving the problem.
The outcome is more precise. You will not make a mistake. When you start using a calculator versus just hand math, right? Your outcome is exact. It's going to be precise. It's not going to, it's not. And can you do it fast? And can you continue doing it faster, right?
Yeah, not without a calculator. Not with long division and a calculator. Not this guy. I'm not nearly as fast. That's great. No, thank you for that. Yeah, that's fantastic. Appreciate your time.